Joining me tonight, former White House press secretary, Mr. Sean Spicer. Sean, good to see you.
Good to see you. How
Politics.
Are you?
I'm good. It's all politics. Am I right? I mean, they know it's impeachment to nowhere. They know they're not going to see the light of day in the Senate. And yet they're staging this entire circus because, as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, they don't want him to win in 2020. What effect do you think it ultimately has?
Well, you know, one thing that I thought of as I was listening to your monologue before I get to the question is, you remember last cycle when Obama was in office and Mitch McConnell, the media went nuts because McConnell had said that he, as the Republican leader, wanted to make McConnell a one-term president. Mm-hmm. And the reality was he was the Republican leader. That's obviously his goal, is to make sure that he has a Republican president. But he made it very clear that he wanted to do it through the election process, right? He wanted to rally support and at the next election elect a Republican, which is frankly what any one of the other party would want to do. There's no problem now. For the last 3 years, the Democrats have made it very clear that they'll do anything. And they started on the day after the president was inaugurated. They said that we're going to have to impeach the guy. I mean, this is amazing that a cycle ago we were talking about using the democratic process to change the party of the president, which is kind of what any one of the other party thinks. And now we've gotten to the point where there's no outrage about the fact that they are blatantly using impeachment as a tool to get rid of a guy, or at least attempt to get rid of a guy, that they didn't like how the American people had chosen.
Well, there's outrage here. I think there's outrage in your house.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
yeah.
But it's just not right? Because I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care how much you love them or how much you hate them. You're talking about an American system that has done pretty darn well for us thus far for hundreds of years. And you're abusing that in a way that makes us no different than a banana republic, frankly, if you ask me.
Well, the thing that I think is interesting about this entire charade, let's call it what it is, is that it's all centered around these people coming in and talking about their opinion or their conjecture of what the president might have wanted to do. But at the end of the day, it's all there in a transcript, right? And I know the president keeps saying read the transcript, and there's a reason for it. It's because you just have to read it, and you can see exactly what he said and what he meant, and there is no ambiguity in this. And yet we're calling witness after witness about things that they felt or heard or thought somebody said and that it was passed along to them. And
it's all conjecture.
When at the end of the day, all we have to do is read the transcript and say, okay, well, here's exactly what he said.
Yeah. And, you know, meanwhile, the Ukrainians are saying there was no link between the two. Sondland never linked the two. They never felt any pressure that they were linked. And so I get the sense, Sean.
In fact, Sondland actually says specifically that the president didn't do that.
Yeah. So I get the sense that they're grasping at straws just as they did with the Mueller thing. I mean, it feels like, you know, here we are, this is the 2.0 system, and they figure, you know, what kind of damage can we do to him going into the election? And it's bad stuff. But let me turn to some good stuff, and that's you, Sean, on Dancing with the Stars. Man, oh man, you really lasted. You lasted longer than anybody thought. Did you last longer than you thought you were going to last?
Oh, 100%. I made it to the quarterfinals of a dance competition. I don't think there's anybody, including myself, thought that I'd make it past a few weeks. So it was kind of cool to get as far as I did.
Was it fun?
I had an absolute blast. It exceeded my expectations. I really enjoyed being there. I loved the people I got to meet, the experiences that I got to have. I'm looking forward to going back to the finale. It really is a great group of people that make up that show, and I'm so glad I did it.
You got to wear some pretty spiffy clothes. Did you have a favorite? I had a favorite.
Some were spiffy, some were a little nutty. What?
You know what my favorite? Wow, that one's pretty good. The flamenco thing. I liked, and that one's good too, I liked the green, fluffy, you know, the ruffly
yeah, that got a lot of attention.
Do we have a picture of that one? That got a lot of attention.
I'm sure. There's a few lying around.
Your favorite?
The good thing about that shirt, though, is that I auctioned that shirt off for two veterans organizations. We got about $4,000
awesome.
For the Yellow Ribbon Fund and the Independence Fund, which are two great organizations that help our wounded soldiers and their caregivers. So I love to be able to make the experience about more than myself and for those people who actually have sacrificed for the country. So that's kind of, we brought two sets of wounded warriors and their caregivers to every show, made it like a date night for them. So it was really fun to do that.
Thank you for doing that, and thank you for being here tonight. Good to see you, Sean.